They're quite big.
Yeah. See? Yeah. So we are live, but they might not see it yet. But I see Sally. I see.
Will I see the chat here?
So we are live. Oh, I mean, give me a second. I have to.
Hey guys.
Hey
guys.
I thought I muted me. What is the issue here? I'm hearing you on mine, I think. Or I mean, I'm hearing you on yours.
I'm hearing like a lot of voices repeating.
Okay. You have to mute. This is live, guys. Don't worry about it. This is what happens. This is live, guys. Don't worry about it.
Okay, that's it. I've done it.
There. Now we're good.
That was really freaking me out.
It happens to the best of us.
Oh my God.
I think I did that to somebody one of the first few times because I had it on mine and I kept on hearing it and I'm like telling them it's theirs and they're like, it's not mine. And then I look on mine and it was mine doing it.
Oh my God, it was like going down a wormhole or something. And I was like, this is what like being on crazy drugs must feel like.
Psychedelic one.
Yeah, right.
All right, so we have, can you see the chat now?
Is it on StreamYard or do I need to go on YouTube?
Yeah, you're probably going to want to go on YouTube.
Okay.
And once you're on YouTube, you're going to see that faster than me.
Okay, I'll go on YouTube and put it on silent.
So, hi, Sally. Hi, Bosadie.
Okay.
Hi, Jen.
Hey, guys.
Today. Lady Night. Maria. How's
hey,
everyone?
Everyone. Hey, Sally.
Jen and, Johnny and Tech Coven. Can you remind me what your name is, honey? I forget. I'm so bad. And Joanna. Hi, guys.
Hey. Oh, hey, that's my mom. Jackie.
Oh, hi, Mom. All right. So we've got quite a few people in here. We'll just go ahead and get started. All right.
Yeah.
So why did you name your channel what you did, Helki Rain the Woke Witch?
It just came to me like literally I didn't want to use my own name because before I'd done music and like I didn't want to attract the same people, like, you know, the same people that were watching me for when I did music to like then watch my spiritual journey unfold and stuff like that. So I really wanted to make it like a sacred place where I felt like the people that were watching because they were choosing to come over because they liked the sort of content I was providing. So then I went with Helki Rain. It literally just came to me when I looked up afterwards what Helki meant, and then I was like, oh, like touch rain, which is like it just literally came to me sort of I guess. And when I looked up the numerology, it was like the numerology of 6, which kind of makes sense because I'm really about sort of like having a space or holding space for people and like having those sort of nurturing vibes. And yeah, like my real name is Leanne, and in music I was called Lily. So people sort of knew me then, and I guess it was I wanted to sort of separate from that. And if that makes sense, I don't know, like.
Yeah, it does. And I love that you did the numerology on that also. That's
Yeah,
really cool.
I looked that up actually like a few months ago. I didn't know always what it was, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. Like 6 energy.
Yeah, that's very cool. So how long have you been on YouTube then? Did you have a previous channel then you said before this one?
I didn't really have a channel. I just would post music on here sometimes, but this channel I've been on since I wrote it down, the 23rd of May 2019. So not quite a year yet, almost a year.
Very cool. You're coming up on your year then.
Yeah. How long have you? Haven't been on too long either, have you?
Excuse me. Well, I have been actually on YouTube. I had a channel, created a channel like in 2013, but I put one video on, which was my jewelry. And then I didn't
I
do
love
anything
your
else.
jewelry.
Thank you. And then I didn't do anything else until the end of 2017, I think, or 2018, I mean. Yeah.
And that's when did you start posting sort of the spiritual stuff?
Yeah. And tarot and unboxings. I started with a few unboxing videos for like, witchy box subscription boxes. So.
Oh, cool.
So what is the what do you envision for your channel going forward?
I guess I wanted to sort of create, like I said already, sort of a community where it's sort of like a sacred space for me to be able to express myself and for other people to relate to my spiritual content or have similar experiences or similar beliefs, like to sort of come together. I don't have like a massive aim or direction that I want to take it. I just know that I definitely want to build sort of a community for myself, like where I feel comfortable to share like my spiritual journey, my path, and also to offer readings, to offer advice to people as well, sharing. I really want to be able to share my life as well a bit more. So things that I'm planning on doing, which is like I do plan to sort of with my family, like we're planning on moving to land and building sort of our own little community there, if you know what I mean. And I do want to sort of share that and kind of going off grid style, if that makes sense. So I guess that's sort of where my channel will go, like where I'm sharing more of my life and showing other people that they can do the same thing. They don't have to feel trapped or stuck in the system or like I think it's just about having a space where I feel comfortable to share my opinions, and if other people resonate, then that's going to make them feel good, like creating space for people like myself, if that makes sense. But I don't have I don't have like a massive like, oh, I want it to go this way, or I just honestly just want it to stay safe, like a nice, safe community, where I feel comfortable, and wherever that goes, like naturally,
Yeah. So just grow and change with you as you do.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Like I definitely, that's the most important thing to me, is that it's like loving and supportive, because I'm very sensitive person. So I don't want to, I don't want like the drama, and I don't want like stuff like that, I appreciate that on other channels a lot and stuff, but for mine, I do want to keep it sort of spiritual, and I like loving and open, sort of that kind of energy.
Perfect.
Cool.
We all need that. Trust me.
Yeah.
So
I feel you have that.
Yeah, I try to. And if I'm not in that mood, I'm not recording that day. Let's put it that way. So
yeah, same.
Not that I don't have those moments, I do. I mean, what you guys see is what I'm putting out into the world. Doesn't
Of
mean that's
course.
me every single day, you know.
No, of
That's
course.
anybody. So, how would you label your spiritual path then?
I would just say I'm definitely call myself a witch. Um, and just checking my notes. Like, I guess it's all about sort of the expansion of consciousness for me and like the shift that's going on in consciousness. So um, I don't call myself a pagan, or I don't like say I'm this particular religion. I'm very like open to all the teachings of different religions and different paths, and then I just kind of pick what resonates with me and I like work with that. I have recently been studying a little bit into like the Hindu religion, which I've been really enjoying, and I do resonate with quite a bit of that. But yeah, like I would say I'm a witch because I do witchy practices. Like I've been doing tarot for 5 years. I like to use oracle cards. I do spell work, and not like a lot, not a ton. So I guess I do take a lot from the like pagan Wiccan religion. I have like studied that, and like I say, I just don't align myself with a particular religion, but I'm very like respectful, and I kind of take bits and bobs from different things, even down to like Buddhism and things. But I think my path is definitely focused on the shifting consciousness that's going on. Like it's such a big thing happening in the planet. I think there's a lot of people like me who are doing the same thing. You know, they're sort of here for the same thing.
So, when you say shift in consciousness, do you mean like going from like 3D to like 4 and 5D?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. We're on the same wavelength there because I
Yeah.
feel the same thing.
Yeah, so it's definitely the shift into 5D, which is happening rapidly. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can really see it evidently now, especially with things like this virus and stuff. It's forcing people to go within, it's forcing massive change. So
Yes, it is. So, do you use divination? If so, what types? And you kind of just already said a couple of those, but
yeah, so tarot is my favorite. I love the tarot. I use it in many ways. I use it in spell work. I use it for readings. I use it daily. Um, I use it in like conversation as well. So, you know, they're like, oh, like that person, they have, you know, they have like really strong high priestess energy. Or I'd be like, oh, you know, that night we went out, it felt like a 10 of cups moment, you know, or like I like to use the tarot in my terminology as well. So I enjoy being around people who understand the tarot also, because then you can feel more comfortable expressing how you, because that's how I feel things. I feel things in those archetypes in a way. Like I like to relate things back to those archetypes. So tarot is definitely my favorite. Divination, like oracle cards a lot as well. And did I say anything else? And yeah, like well, I do like basic spell work. I wouldn't say I'm like amazing at spell work.
okay.
Do you do a lot of spell work?
I mean, I really do because I think of like the law of attraction as spell work.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I really do. I mean, even like when I'm taking a shower, I envision it being like a cleansing, like waterfall, clearing me of negativity, stuff like that. Lighting a candle. There's Big Mouth.
So
You know, like lighting a candle and whatever that's supposed to represent when I do. I mean, everything in my wording and everything. Yeah.
that's really
So,
cool. Like I should, yeah, I'm gonna try that more. Sort of like like you're bringing manifestation into that as well, right?
yeah, but you know, I also do like what you do now because for me, when I start something new, I'm very passionate about it. I mean, almost to the point of being obsessive about it. So like the tarot is like everything right now for me. So I'll
Same.
see exactly. Oh, yeah. She's a a Queen of Cups, or I see
Yeah.
her definitely as the Queen of Swords moment right now, or
Yes.
something like that. Or yeah, we're going through a Tower moment right now. It's shaking
Yeah.
things up a bit. So I think like in that regards as well now, but I never did before. So
It does help keep you kind of grounded to think like that as well, doesn't it? Like it keeps
I
you
think
grounded.
so.
It keeps you not so wrapped up in the emotions of everything, or it can keep you like very like grateful. So like when you are having those sun moments, you can really bask in it,
I mean, I think so. Just like if you look at everything as like a growing opportunity, if you're looking at everything like these are what the tarot set out was an archetype. So I must be going through this phase right now. What's next? If you're going through like the major arcana, because they
Yeah.
kind of go in sequence. So you
Yeah,
think,
totally.
all right.
Mm,
So
the
looking
full
at like the bigger
journey.
picture kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So do you have a website?
I don't have I've got a website built, but I haven't got it published right now. I did build one on Wix, but the one I'm using is my Tumblr, which
And
is
I just put it in chat.
oh cool. So my Tumblr is what I'm using right now, and there you can see like all my links to my social medias, and I do offer a few readings on Etsy as well at the moment. So there should be links for that as well.
Okay. And then you're also on Instagram.
Yeah, that's
I
probably
am.
the main thing I use, really, Instagram and YouTube.
Okay. I am putting that in there right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And let me find your channel on YouTube.
So thanks everyone who's come to join us and watching in the chat. It's really cool to see so many peeps here. Oh, hey, Summer.
There we go. So those are all the places that you can find Helki Rain guides. So there's a few people that came in that I did not say hi to when they were coming in, I believe, like Jessie. Hi, Jessie. And B. Hi, B. Oops.
Hey, B.
My ears are falling out. That tarot lady. Hi there. I think I got everyone else. Oh, Summer, of course. Hi, honey. She is a brand new grandma, everybody.
I know.
Her daughter
oh
just gave birth yesterday. That's so exciting.
So exciting. Can't believe that.
And you know what? Her daughter gave birth to her baby on my son's birthday. His 25th birthday was yesterday,
oh my God. So cool. So
6 degrees of separation.
Oh my God. That's so funny.
So very cool.
I can't believe she's a grandma, to be honest.
Oh, I know. She's like 38 and she's a grandma already.
Shocked me when she told me. I was like, oh my God, you're so young. But that's so good. It's good to have good news right now, right?
Absolutely. So do you know what your tarot birth cards are?
Yes, the Hierophant and Temperance.
Wow, very good cards.
Yeah. What are yours out of interest?
Mine are the what were my birth cards? Strength, or if you're looking at Thoth, it would be what? Justice and the Star.
Okay, nice.
So I had to think about that for a second.
I get justice a lot. I've been going through a lot of justice moments in life. But yeah, the Hierophant, I really resonate with that, like especially since I've come so strong on my spiritual path. Like I really resonate with that. And then like I can see how temperance is in there too. That's like the balancing I really need to master.
We all do.
Yeah.
So then your life path number is 5?
5, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so what's yours? 7, is it? Or
8.
8?
8 life path.
I don't use them.
Yeah.
Oh, 8. Powerhouse.
Powerhouse. Yep. And
Great
I'm a
manifestor.
Capricorn.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah.
Interesting. Very earthy. I think of 8 as very earthy as well.
Yeah. And the infinity.
Yeah, of course. Oh, very
But
nice.
actually I'm cusp. I'm a Capricorn Aquarius cusp.
Oh, really?
So,
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
So
What's your moon?
Virgo.
Oh, okay,
And I'm
so
a
very
Cancer
earthy.
rising.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. I'm a Virgo rising, so yeah.
Oh, okay. And what was your moon?
Sagittarius.
And what is your sun sign?
Leo.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Leo is what? What kind of is that a earth sign?
Leo is
Or
fire.
that's fire, right.
Yeah,
Sagittarius is fire and then
yeah.
earth.
Yeah, fire, earth. Yeah,
Okay.
and it's 5th house as well. So Leo's 5th house. That's like the creative house, but also then I think of my 5 as well, my life path 5. So yeah, a lot of like 5 energy going on there. But I also study Vedic astrology, so I'm actually different in Vedic astrology, but then it gets quite complicated. But Western, yeah, I'm a Leo. Yeah.
What are you in Vedic then?
So in
I mean,
Vedic,
just your
I'm a
sun sign in
Cancer
Vedic.
sun.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
which is water.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my rising. So yeah,
Yeah.
okay. That's cool. So do you have a current favorite tarot card?
Yes, the Hermit.
The Hermit. How appropriate right now, right?
Yeah, maybe it was me that manifested the whole thing.
No, stop. Just for a little time out for the earth, right?
Yeah. Like we are definitely in a hermit place right now. God. Yeah, but I've just come
Definitely.
out of my hermit year. You know, if you do the yearly the yearly cards, you know, by your birth, you have like each year you can have a card, and 2019 was my hermit year. And now I'm going into the Wheel of Fortune. I'm in my Wheel of Fortune, yeah. But I just relate a lot to the Hermit card. I'm very I love my alone time, and yeah, just going through a lot of spiritual stuff, you know, within the last year and still currently. So I do have a lot of time on my own, and I'm really clearing some stuff up and going through some past stuff, you know, that you do when you're in that hermit mode, and actually like coming back to me is a lot of wisdom. So that's why I do love the Hermit card so much, because it does provide you with so much inner wisdom that you couldn't actually seek from anywhere else but going within and stepping away, you know. And that is the one thing we can sort of gain from these times right now, is when we take this time away, we'll be able to gain so much strength from within and so much wisdom that you wouldn't probably be able to find if you were still going to work 5 days a week. You know, so it gives people a chance to really soak up that hermit energy, which to me is like invaluable, you know, it's amazing. So
absolutely. Plus with you being a 5, 5s are very much about like spiritual change and evolution, aren't they?
Yeah, like they're definitely about change.
Yeah.
So I'm very comfortable with change, that's what I do love about the 5. It can be quite chaotic energy sometimes as well. But the rest, you quite into numerology, so like there's all the different sort of numbers. Like my soul urge number is 7, my personality number is 7. So I have a lot of 7 energy as well, which is all hermit vibes. It's all about studying and going within and like gaining knowledge and then sharing knowledge. So I do resonate a lot with 7 energy as well.
I skim just at the very top of numerology and astrology. I'm just like a baby in those fields. So,
yeah,
I mean, I'm hearing what you're saying and I understand what you're saying, but my knowledge of it is all very limited. So, but it's very interesting to me.
Yeah, no, totally. I get that.
So, do you know what your significator card in the tarot deck is?
So the card that I sort of resonate with the most at the moment would be the Page of Wands. So I would use the Page of Wands as a significator, as sometimes the High Priestess. If I'm feeling really confident, I'll use the
Absolutely.
really,
gotta rock that card, right?
Yeah, like when I'm like, I'm a high priestess today. Like that's the energy. But most of the times I am, even though I'm 31 years old, I am that Page of Wands spirit inside at the moment. I do think we're always constantly evolving and constantly changing. And this time next year, I would probably have a whole different significator card. What would you?
First of all, I can't believe you're 31 years old. I mean, you look like you're about 22 to me.
Oh,
seriously.
Thank you.
No, I'm being dead serious.
No, I'm 88, baby.
Wow, I never, ever would have guessed that. I'm sure most people are going to say that.
No, thank you. That's really sweet. What's your significator? Just out of interest, sorry to keep asking.
Well, I mean, my significator, I took the Myers-Briggs test that said the Queen of Cups.
Okay. Oh, so what is your actual letters for that test?
INFJ. -A for assertive. I'm an introvert, but I'm an assertive introvert.
All right.
So, whatever that means. I prefer my alone time, but I can be assertive if I have to, which that's probably where my Capricorn energy comes in, because we're like the beginners, we're the cardinal signs. So, yeah. And so as a Cancer, which is my rising, is a cardinal as well. So that's probably where that comes from. But if you were to go from just my being a Capricorn, then I would have been like a Queen of Pentacles. So
I can see that, Queen of Pentacles. I can get that energy from you, definitely. But the INFP, I'm an INFP, I think. You are INFJ?
INFJ.
Yeah, I think I'm INFP. So I don't know what that would make me as a yeah.
Well, that would be intuitive, or don't quote me on it, because I'm not sure the number or the sequence of what each one of them is supposed to mean. So
I don't know what it would be in cards. But that's interesting.
There's an actual site, and I'm not sure where it is, but you can type in, put in Myers-Briggs test or Myers-Briggs personality tarot significator, and it'll come up and tell you which one it is.
Okay,
so
cool.
That's how I found it. Yeah.
And do you resonate with what yours was?
I think I teeter between both, which, I mean, with my sign being, an earth sign, well, earth and air, because I'm a cusp, but then with my rising sign being a water, I think I teeter between the two. So almost like the star, who's got one foot in the water, which is my one of my
yeah.
cards
Oh, yeah.
and one on Earth. So it's funny how that kind of works out.
The star card, that's a really nice birth card to have.
Yeah. So do you have a current favorite deck right now, tarot deck or oracle?
It's always the Rider-Waite-Smith, really boring. But if I had to choose not Rider-Waite-Smith, just to not be boring, I would say at the moment I'm really enjoying the Light Seers, which is this one. You know, it's the Hay House version. I wish I had the original version with the green edges. Do you have that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the look of that one, but yeah, I could only get a copy of this. But the Light Seers, I really like the artwork on it. I feel like the artwork in this deck really speaks to me in the same, not in the same way as the Rider-Waite, but as strongly. And I feel like the artwork is really well suited for the each card. You know, it doesn't feel out of place. I'm so jealous. I'm not gonna lie. It's such a gorgeous, don't you think?
It is a beautiful deck. I just pre-ordered the Muse Tarot.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, that's not the independent version. It's the mass-produced one.
Oh, right.
You know, the cheaper one.
You missed out on the independent, or
I could have got it. I just, you know, money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you there. Like, hence why I haven't bought a deck in a while.
Yeah. I mean, I shouldn't have, but it just went on, and I'm like, you know what? I've been stuck in the house. I'm just gonna get it. I'm just gonna do it. It's like $23, you know,
and
23
you've
bucks.
got her other decks, haven't you? So like this deck it's literally one of the best decks I have. So I imagine all of her decks are pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, the reason I think her stuff really resonates with me is because she is a light worker. It's about energy and, you know, and thought and all that. And that's exactly what I resonate with. And tons of ancient geometry that she shows little hints of in here, like the flower of life and, you know, Metatron's cube and stuff like that. And that's all the kind of stuff that I resonate with. So
yeah. And the colors are so vibrant in that one as well, which is probably my most vibrant colored deck. So if you're like color sensitive, like I know a lot of psychics and stuff are quite sensitive to colors. So that's why I would highly recommend it.
Yeah. I can relate like a lot of chakras to these cards as well. I see the chakras in them.
Yeah, so definitely. It just has so much energy, that deck, and everybody that I've like in person I've done readings for, and they always are drawn to that deck, and they're always like, oh, these images, and oh, you know, and I'm pretty sure it's because one, it's quite modern. I really like the modern approach in the artwork, but I also just love the vibrant colors, and like you say, like, you know, the patterns, and then you've got like they're sort of hidden, you know, within the drawing itself. Like see the here, like the, you know, it's really cool.
Exactly. The Hierophant in this deck is like my favorite Hierophant ever.
He's like a hippie guy, isn't he?
Yes, but see, our teachers can come in many forms.
Exactly. Like he looks like he could be your yoga teacher or something.
Exactly. And actually the Everyday Witch, it's a yoga teacher for the Hierophant.
Oh, really? I really like the look of that deck. I haven't got it. But I like these modern decks. Like I really do. The Hierophant, if anyone was wondering what we're talking about.
My favorite Hierophant ever.
Yeah, the staircase, like, oh my God.
Into
so cool.
ancient geometry.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And just there alone is just all about that. It is about like the learning, the steps you take, like to evolve into learning and
ascension.
Yeah, exactly. I love that.
Absolutely.
I love the star. Talking of your card,
It's
this
like
is the
lassoing it.
harnessing hope. Like,
Mhm.
and I've never seen a star done this well, to be honest. Like, because I do really see it. It is about like harnessing hope and like seeing, what
I
could.
always think of this star card as the star seeds. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's cool. Thanks for sharing that.
Finding your light in order to put it out back into the world.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. I know that's going to come up in a reading now.
Yeah. Exactly. So what decks are you currently working with then?
So did I make any notes? Okay, so those two that I already said, the light seers and the rider waite, like I do mostly, this is my daily deck, just the rider waite classic, but I have been using a lot in an oracle sense is this Queen of the Moon oracle. I don't know if you know.
Oh,
Looks like this at the back.
very nice.
Yeah, like the images, they were pretty nice. The images I really like and stuff. You can't really see because it's quite dark here and I've got a light on. But what it is they speak to me. They just really speak to me intuitively. So I get a lot from these when I'm doing readings. I normally would add these on to my tarot readings. I probably would. I don't think I've ever used just oracles. Like maybe if I'm just I'm just like, oh, I just pull a card randomly for myself, but I've never like worked with only oracle. I always work with tarot and then I back it up with oracle. So yeah, I've really been enjoying this Queen of the Moon, and it's a really affordable deck. So if anyone is interested, I'm pretty sure it's like one of the most affordable decks out there, like one of the mass ones. It's easy to get hold of and things. I was really pleasantly surprised at how much I can get from it. I really get a lot from it intuitively. I don't ever use the guidebook. There's literally no need. Like from the images alone, you can get so much from them. And also if you like moon, if you know a lot about the moon and you work a lot with the moon, you've got all like the different moon phases as well as like these beautiful images, but it's what's in the images can either speak to you. Sometimes it'd be the keyword and sometimes it would be the moon phase. Like it's how you work intuitively. But I have quite a lot of oracle decks, and there's actually only a few of them I'm drawn to using regularly, and this is one, and then the Angel Therapy one by Dorian Virtue, dare I say. This is just one of her old
her decks.
Same. I know that she's turned her back on us, but whatevs. I like her deck still. This deck, do you have this one? It's the Angel Therapy deck.
I don't. I only have 2 of her decks.
I think you would like this one, because it's like very much about the light as well. And you are such a light being. And it's really good for like therapy work. So if you're doing a sort of, I quite like using it more for myself, but it is great in readings for clients, like cord cutting, shield yourself, and it has a little phrase sort of at the bottom of each one. I like this one because it says, vacuum away fear.
Right on.
Instead of sweep away fear, it's like modern. It's like vacuum away. But yeah,
get all of it out of there, right? Just suck it right on out of there.
Plug in the vacuum and let's go.
So let's see if anybody is still waiting on my replacement. Uh-oh. How did you learn to trust yourself and your intuition while doing readings? You just have to.
Yeah, I find intuition is the best way to read. Like can't get hung up on like the meanings or the booklet. That's why I was saying I like tend to use decks that speak to me within the images. I use numerology as well within readings. So if I'm not getting like a lot from the image intuitively, then I'll use numerology. And the more you trust yourself, don't you find the more the more stuff just comes to you, like hits, I call them. So I just get hits of information.
Just trust in what you see. That's the way I see it. Trust in what you see, what comes to your mind. And I think whenever I have second guessed myself, that's when I'm wrong.
Yeah, right.
When my logical mind comes in and says, well, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe that's not really out. I'm always wrong.
Yeah, or
always.
The worst is when you don't want to say it because it's negative.
Yeah.
And then like you just know, like that's why now I've sort of, that's my main issue that I need to work on, is because being a Sag moon and everything, you're the ultimate optimist, so it's hard for me to like say things that I know people don't want to hear, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So but being a reader, and like I really am having to get over that, because it makes the reading way longer as well, because you're like beating around the bush and you get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get there
tiptoeing around it, right?
So like, and it's screaming it there, like, and it's like you feel like you can't even think about anything else but the negative thing you're not saying, because you're just like, you eventually say it, and then they're like, oh yeah, like thanks, and they're like, oh thank God, like why didn't I just say that to begin with? I saved myself a lot of stress.
I think there's still a way of saying it, but you still got to relay it. But I mean, you know, it's hard. And just like I said, I don't read reverse, but really that's not true either, because depending on the situation, I mean, if it's in a reverse state, I don't read reversal cards, but
Yeah,
there's always
I
going to
get
be
that.
a shadow side or a light side too, depending on where it falls, depending
Yeah.
on if it's something that you're supposed to be releasing or something you're supposed to be embracing. So, but I think that's, you know, as you learn more, then you grow more with it and you understand. And yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. But yeah, it's just trusting your intuition is practice. It's definitely practice. So if I think that was Joanna who asked, like, it is practice. So just don't
And
be
getting
so
feedback.
hard on yourself. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, offer free readings to people. That's how I did it. I read like over 100 people for free, you know, and got all the feedback to really help me. And before I even thought about like doing professional readings for stuff and stuff like that. So definitely think you're totally right there. Get feedback and practice. Just trust yourself. Like, it's a really good way for you to learn to sort of trust your own self in life. So when you start doing readings, like, you can start understanding more, like, you know, maybe that's not making me feel good, like a situation in life. Maybe I should trust how I feel about that, and what I feel like I'm being told on a subconscious level about that situation. And then the more you sort of step into trusting yourself and putting action towards helping yourself, you'll see how much quicker you're manifesting, how much quicker you are stepping into your real divine path, you know, and not being so caught up in the more muddy energy, which is, you know, obviously it's there and it's important to learn a lot from, but the quicker you can sort of get out of the mud, if that makes sense.
Right.
Reading really helps with that, you know, making decisions more quickly in your own life.
Yeah. See, for me, and I've said this before, I acknowledge what's going on. I feel what I need to feel in that situation. And then it's like like flipping a switch. Okay, what do I need to do now in order to get out of that situation? So I see the cards as like a roadmap. It doesn't mean that that's exactly what's going to happen, but it's like a warning sign. We've
Yes.
got a fork coming up in the road, or we've got, a light that's coming up, so start slowing down kind of thing. That's what I look at it like.
Yeah. It's a
So
guide.
exactly. But the negative things are hard for me too. I'm trying to do better, but yeah.
I'm glad I'm not alone with that then. Some people just like straight don't mind. Good for them.
Yeah. I just think so many people have anxiety now that you got to just be so careful. And the solar energies and everything that are so crazy, energies going crazy. Sometimes people are picking up on things that are not even their own energy. So their emotions are chaotic. So you give like even worse news in a certain way, and it's like they don't know what the hell to do with that,
Yeah.
So,
and then aren't they coming to you because nobody is reaching out to have a reading if they're not in a place where they don't even trust themselves. So like, then if people are in that place, then the last thing you want to do is like add more stress onto that. Like you're totally right there. It's all about, I think, the way you say it, the way you approach it. And I always back up. And that's why I call my readings guidance readings. I always back up any negative things with advice and how to turn it around,
Yeah, exactly. And maybe drawing additional cards to give them a little bit of perspective on it, maybe.
Yes, clarifiers.
Something they're not seeing, So would you say that you are a collector of tarot decks? And if so, how many do you have? Do you know?
I did write that down because I was not going to remember. I've got 11 tarot decks and 12 oracle, roughly.
Okay. So that's a good number.
Yeah, I would like to have more.
I love it. Me too.
I never say no to more, like when they come up, when I can have them, when I and just that's it. I'm open to more. I would love to have, like in Beauty and the Beast, like Belle's library but of decks. Like that would be amazing.
Yeah, exactly. So do you currently have a favorite book or an artist?
Yes, so my favorite book at the moment is I'll just grab it, it's just there, one sec. I'm not sure if you know this book, the Metaphysical Anatomy by Yvette Rose, and it's quite like a thick book, but it's more like sort of a index or a dictionary book, which is, so say if you have like a physical symptom, like my shoulder blades are really hurting, like today out of nowhere, or like the last week my shoulder blades have been really killing me. You can literally look up like shoulder blades, and then you can see the emotional reason that your shoulder blades are hurting, and then like the spiritual or anything you can do to sort of heal that emotionally, to cure the pain. And like always, when you look up like any symptoms that I've had or my friends and family have had, when I look up their symptom, they are struggling with that emotional issue that's completely, you wouldn't think it's related, so like maybe they're having issues with boundaries, and they don't understand why, they might be anything. It can literally has every sort of physical symptom, even including addiction and anxiety.
So can you give us an example of shoulders? Because I would think that it's like carrying too many burdens or something like that, but let's see what it says.
Let's see. Sorry.
I think that's really cool.
I love this book, and they have actually started using it in some universities and things like that. Like you can see, sort of can look up all of these different symptoms. So if I go like back pain, so
Everyone's like, wow, they love that book.
I highly recommend it. And she's an Australian woman that wrote it, Yvette Rose. And if you can't afford the book right now, you can get it on Amazon or whatever. I definitely recommend just watching her interviews. There's quite a few good interviews with her online. So
what was it called? Metaphysical?
Yep, so it's called Metaphysical Anatomy, Volume 1, and she's called Yvette Rose. And she's got a Volume 2 and 3 out. Sorry. Right, back problems. So back problems, and then she'll have like upper back, shoulder blades, middle back, lower back, you know, fused lower spine. So if I look at shoulder blades, it's page 171.
I love how huge it is. It just means it's pretty much covering everything.
Yep, it's massive, and it really goes like into detail, you know. So like I won't read everything for shoulder blades because it's like long, but so it says emotions. You are pushing against expectations that have been projected onto you. You feel a lack of freedom in your life. You feel you have to pretend to be strong, and you are burdened by this facade. You often feel obligated to do things you don't enjoy, turning every task into a burden. You feel a lack of personal power and are struck between others' conflicts.
Well, that sounds about right.
Yeah, always trying to restore the peace. And then it's got like key points. So these are things that you can ask yourself sort of in meditation to really sort of dive into it and really sort of clear that up, you know, like what are you trying to push against and away from? What stops you from expressing firm boundaries with these circumstances, and then etc. It goes on. So
I love that.
Yeah, really cool. And I definitely found it to be very true and to work for me. And you'll see that it's done the same for a lot of other people that are aware of it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to get that.
Yeah, a lot of people are definitely aware. Like, have you seen the documentary Heal?
No.
It's on Netflix, Heal, Heal, and they never advertise it because they never advertise anything like metaphysical and actually useful. But it's all about how our health problems are related to our emotional state, which is exactly like this book is telling you. So when you're able to heal something emotionally, then the physical symptoms will also be healed.
Right on. That's more like your Eastern medicine versus your Western medicine.
Right.
Yeah. Awesome. And what about an artist? Do you have a favorite artist? Or like artistic type, like in your tarot decks or anything? One that sticks out more to you?
Well, I just love Colette Baron Reid. I mean, I love
soft.
Yeah. I don't know if she does the artwork though, does she?
No, I don't think she does.
No, so I guess art-wise, I love Rider-Waite-Smith. So Miss Smith, Pamela, is it? Yeah,
Pamela Coleman Smith.
Yeah, I love her artwork. Like, I know it's old, and you know, but she is a legend. You know.
Yeah.
Because this is what really made me fall in love with tarot. If I'm really honest, it's this original Rider-Waite-Smith deck that really made me personally connect with the meanings and like using this system in general. I haven't like even tried the other systems, so I can't really speak on those. Because I heard you mention the Thoth earlier. How are you going with that? I know.
I started reading now the Understanding the Thoth Tarot by Duquette. I think it's Duquette or Duvet. I can't remember. I started that. I'm like maybe on page 30. But so far, I like that much better than the Book of Thoth, because the Book of Thoth is just so, the guy is just so wordy. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's like the kind of person that is, yeah, it's like, but I think that he did that on purpose because they weren't supposed to give away all of the information that was, knowledge that was for the Golden Dawn.
Okay.
So they had to kind of like talk circles around it so they didn't give away all the secrets. And I think, not to mention, I just think that he was the kind of guy that was, and this is unlimited information, but just the kind of guy that was brilliant. Okay. But at the same time, people that are highly intelligent sometimes do not have the best verbiage as far as like common sense, talking to people, common sense kind of thing.
They don't put it into layman's terms well.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah, I get that. I struggle with that stuff.
Oh my gosh. Julianne just said the Book of Thoth was the first tarot book that you ever read. I mean, altogether.
Wow.
So Thoth was the very first completely?
Julianne, I'm amazed that it didn't scar you.
Exactly. I concur that there is always an emotional component to physical issues. Absolutely. I'm going to have to check out Heal. You said it's on Netflix?
Yes, definitely watch Heal. I know it's expensive, the book. I'm seeing what people are saying. I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah, like I totally relate. This is why I don't have a lot of books, because I can't afford it. I invested in that book, but I honestly, it is a great investment.
It's worth it.
Yeah, like, but especially if you want to heal that way, because I'm very much about dealing with symptoms myself and healing things myself. And so it just depends how much you value that. But it's also a quick way. Like, you can always go into meditation and find out what's the deep root cause of something. Remember, we don't need anything technically. We have everything we need within ourselves. But it is a great resource for getting to it quickly. But definitely watch Heal. And if you have Gaia, there's a really good show on there by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Have you watched his show?
No.
Yeah, that I really recommend as well, which is all about using, just watch it, guys, and you'll see it is great resources for this sort of stuff, which is just harnessing the strength and power within ourselves, because we can heal ourselves. We can heal ourselves. We can manifest what we want. And we're really coming into the age now, the age of Aquarius, into the 5D shift. It's all happening now. We can do this stuff. That's why this knowledge is coming out now, because of the shift, because we're sort of taking things into our own hands now. We don't need to be so blind to the truth, I guess, blind to what we're capable of. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, if you think, well, that's probably getting into too many conspiracy theories, but I think honestly,
this is why I like you, because you
they want to keep the elites, that is. And it makes perfect sense if you think about it. They would want to keep you dumb to what our own power is, simply because we rely on them for basic resources that they make lots of money on, right?
Exactly.
Why would Tesla? Why was he, when his science was revolutionary? Okay, some of it still is, even far beyond what we can do now. And at the same time, there were other companies, but because they were a way of making money, those ones did well. Whereas Tesla wanted to give free energy to the people. So his was pushed aside. And
completely suppressed.
Exactly. Exactly. So,
and it's happened time and time again. The guy that, I forget his name now, but the guy who invented orgonite, which is like that is coming back around now, which is just like a form of natural components put together, which can also heal you very, very quickly, and you don't even need to like plug it in or anything. It's literally because of how energy works. Like we've been like you say, like we could go deep into this, but it's gonna really take us off track. But it is like you are like sleepwalking. We've been sleepwalking for years, and now we're all waking up to, wow, like the power of human beings. You know, we are such powerful human beings altogether. Like we're powerful, and we can do a lot more than we're led to believe just with our own mind. It's crazy.
Exactly.
And you know, everyone here, they get that, because you wouldn't even believe in tarot if you weren't open to that concept.
Yeah, I'm not of the person that also believes that tarot started in Italy. I believe that it started in Egypt, and then taken over to Italy by like, the gypsies. But have you ever heard of the Law of One?
Yeah.
Well, the Law of One is material that was channeled in the 80s by Carla Ruckert and Jim McCurdy or something like that. I believe they were husband and wife. And this was a body of work that was channeled by the Ra group, who are also the same gods from ancient Egypt. And they said that it actually started with the information that they put out back then. Wow. So it only makes sense that the Book of Thoth, which is also based on stuff, according to them, that came from Egypt, and all those archetypes, and those archetypes were set in place in order to help humanity to work through all of these things in order for us to ascend, right?
Yeah, that makes so much sense.
So, but I mean, if you even look back further than that, like, well, not further than that, but at the Bible, when they talk about the Nephilim, okay, and the fallen angels coming down and being with the women and then having offspring, well, they were also given their secrets. We believe those secrets were magic, you know, ceremonial magic, and numerology and astrology. I think tarot was one of those.
Yeah, and they can even be aliens. Like if you look at it from a whole different perspective or a different point of view, you know, then because you can go back to Atlantis, and you know, and even there is that whole thing of, were those you know, giant statues in Egypt actually like alien gods? Or, you know, you can really go crazy deep into this stuff, but like, I'm definitely going to look more into Thoth now, and what you were saying about the Law of One and how the tarot could have come from Egypt, because that totally is resonating with me right now. So that would make a lot of sense. And the archetypes, of course, have got to come from I believe, like some sort of divine guidance way back then, you know, and it definitely does. That's definitely resonating a lot with me.
I just put it into the chat. That's the Law of One. It's a free database online where you can see all the information that was channeled. And they have actual books or topics of discussion that are all around the tarot. And according to them, the truest version of it is the Egyptian tarot, which I'm guessing at that time, because that was in the late 80s, was the Thoth, because that was supposed to be based on Egyptian stuff. So that's my best recollection there.
No, yeah, I've just opened it up. I'm going to check that out after. Thank you.
No problem. So, do you have a current TV series that you are enjoying? And it doesn't have to be witchy or anything like that, just TV in general. Or, you know.
Yeah, so I'll try and be really quick with this, because I know I'm really, when it comes to this sort of stuff, I can talk forever. But
Sorry, guys.
Oh, okay, so I subscribe to, you know, sort of you have Gaia and you have Netflix, and you can have these sort of what are they called? Like platforms. Yeah, where you subscribe. So I subscribe to a platform called CETV.1. And they are just like Gaia, but it's like really well researched information, and they sort of cover like a lot of like spiritual subjects as well. And my favorite show on that platform is called Elevate. Yeah, Elevate. I really highly recommend that show. It resonates a lot with my beliefs, and there's a guy on there called Franco De Nicola, and he talks a lot about, he's a unified soul, and he talks a lot about what's going on right now on the planet, about like the matrix being turned off. They feel like if you're really someone who likes to dive deep into this sort of stuff, like esoteric stuff, finding out about what we're here for on a soul level, definitely check out that show Elevate. Like it's so good, and it's on like there's 3 series of it, so yeah, it's really good. And
you mean 3
seasons? 3 seasons, and about 10 episodes per season, but I love it. And right from the get-go, it's really good. Sort of talks about like why are we here, how the human body is made up energetically and stuff. So really interesting. If you like out there stuff, if you like and then you can just see
exercises.
Yeah. But you can get a free trial, I think, for a week, so it's definitely worth checking out.
Is it expensive? What is it, a monthly thing, like $10 a month
like
kind of thing?
$8 a month.
Okay.
So not too expensive. And yeah, like I like to support people like that because they're independent media, and like the only way, they're always getting shut down, like on Facebook and stuff by the government and stuff, because they're putting out information that they don't want out. So there's just that last bit of where they're still trying to suppress us a little bit and suppress the internet, suppress certain information coming out, because it's backed up with science, it's backed up with facts, a lot of it. That's why they're sort of very watched over. So I like to support them because they're doing a lot of good stuff, and they don't get to make money in other ways. And yeah, but like I said, just check it out, because you can get a free trial and just see if you like it. I really recommend that show. That's definitely my favorite.
I get that. I get an email newsletter from CETV, but I've never subscribed yet. And I stopped with it's like Evolution something, isn't it? Central Evolution or something like that.
Evolution is their website, so they're a written media as well. That's completely free, so you can always check out their articles.
Yeah,
which are great.
Very cool. So, do you have a favorite witch movie or series?
Yeah, my favorite witch movie is Practical Magic, classic.
Yeah.
And I loved growing up Sabrina the Teenage Witch, of course. And I did check out some of the new one. It was quite scary.
Yeah.
It's not like the old one, but it's good. But I haven't got through it because I don't have a lot of time to get. Well, I do now, but I haven't quite got through it. I spend too much time studying, probably. Pointless
time
stuff.
to binge, guys. Take advantage of it, right?
I know. Binge ahead.
Watch lots of comedies right now. We got to raise up the world's vibration.
I know, right?
Comedies. So do you have a favorite season of the year?
Yeah, summer. I love summer. I love all the seasons, to be honest. Like, I love the look of like all of the seasons, and I really like the look of winter and stuff. But if I'm honest, like where I live in England, our summer is not like uncomfortable. Our summer is lovely. You know, it's perfect, and it's very breezy still. So I know a lot of people hate summer because they're like, oh, it's so stuffy. But surely you said you're from Michigan.
Yeah.
Right? You have
we are a very humid state. Very.
Oh, it does get humid. Oh, I thought it wouldn't with all the water.
Well, with all the water around us, that's why we're definitely,
right.
We're completely covered, and it's not salt water either. It's fresh water.
Yeah, I guess.
So,
I didn't think of that. I thought because I don't know why, because you get really cold, don't you, in the winter? So I thought maybe your summers would be quite breezy.
They can be, but I mean, not every day is like that. I mean, if there's no breeze, it's just like stifling. You know, you just walk out and it's like, oh, and my hair is just like frizz. Not frizz.
I have that hair type as well. Monica, have you seen? Do you watch Friends? That episode of Friends where Monica's hair, as she goes to like Hawaii or something, and it's just like.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you got to walk like sideways through the door.
It's like, don't mind me, guys.
Yeah. Yes. That's funny. So, do you feel a stronger connection to a certain element?
I guess, what did I write? Yeah, like a fire, because that's I'm quite strong, fiery person in my chart. But like I really resonate a lot with water, to be honest. Like, because that's how I mostly read cards, actually, is emotions, and how I read things in life, how I read people is like emotions, and water is emotions, and that's sort of my main sort of gift is like I can feel so much. So I would say it would be water for me. And fire.
I wanted to go back just a little bit because Maria, Lady Knight of Avalon, said, is Gaia like a video on demand or more like a TV network where you have to watch when it airs? So they do put out new episodes because that's where I would watch on Gaia, is where Cosmic Disclosure was, and Wisdom Teachings. Is that what it was? The other David Wilcock show?
Yeah, I love David Wilcock.
Oh, me too. So, but it is like, I mean, it's a channel.
It's like a Netflix. It's like a platform like Netflix. But if you have Amazon Prime
computer,
you
can go right to Gaia.com. That's how I used to watch it.
Amazon Prime, that's how I got onto Gaia. Was Amazon Prime was like suggesting go on, they're linked up basically. So if you go on your Amazon Prime account, then you can get a free trial with Gaia through Amazon Prime. That's how I did it. And then CETV is, I'll put it in the chat, is a different platform on its own. Just posted it in. And Gaia is probably Gaia.com, but I go through Amazon Prime, and that's how you can get a free trial as well. And both those platforms have free trials, so like definitely check them both out. And if you have Netflix, then you can watch that Heal documentary as well.
Yeah. All right, let's see. So the next question was, do you work with crystals? And if so, what one or which ones are your favorites?
So I like to wear crystals and stuff a lot. And I'm wearing clear quartz at the moment, but I don't do a lot of work. Like I do bring them into my spells, but like I was saying before, I don't do like loads and loads of spells. I do I might do, and I'm definitely going to take what you said more, which is like just doing more mindful spells, like you said, when you're in the shower and things like that. So I'm definitely going to take on that that tip there. But normally mine are like sit down, like witchy, you know, burning stuff and
burning stuff.
setting out my crystals in like a grid. So I use them then, and I will, like, the last spell I did was a protection spell. So I was using like black tourmaline, smoky quartz, you know, like the darker ones. But my favorite is, like, in my videos I have like that big tall, and I'm gonna look it up because I always say it wrong, the selenite one. Like, it's like the sort of salty looking one. Do you know what I mean?
Selenite, yeah,
and it's a very affordable crystal as well, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a positive vibes, and I really felt like when I got that crystal, like, it brought so much like uplifting energy into my room that my altar. So I really like selenite, and I also really resonate a lot with rhodonite, which is sort of like that pink bubblegummy kind of colored stone, which is really good for sort of like grief and things like that. Like I do suffer a little bit with my mental health and stuff, so I do find rhodonite is really good for that. And if you are quite sensitive, if you have anxiety, if you're energy sensitive, if you're an empath, if you have depression, I definitely recommend rhodonite, and also selenite, because then they really sort of uplift you. And also, like, well, the selenite uplifts you, and then the rhodonite, I feel like, hugs you and gives you that sort of comfort in energy. But I'm not like a crystal pro, and I'm awful at pronouncing the names.
You had them right. Selenite and rhodonite is correct.
Yeah. Okay.
At least
cool.
as far as I know. But I will say that selenite is actually known for taking negative energy and transforming it into positive energy.
Oh.
So,
okay.
and you can cleanse, like, people will have like plates made out of selenite that they take their crystals into, or their jewelry or whatever that they were wearing for the day, put it on there in order to remove any negative energy. It's like recharging it, you know, for the next day or whatever, or for the next wearing or whatever. So
it feels very powerful like that. Like it could, you know, like sage, like it has a real. And I have noticed that they always sell it in wands, so that would make sense. Like you say, if you was to use it to clear stuff and to take out the negative, the same as you would with sage, you know, like to protect and to clear energy.
Absolutely. I'm sorry, I have to keep pausing because my dog slowly just keeps going friggin' crazy.
I know, it's okay. I love animals, so I forgive your lovely dog.
You guys actually got to see with the Meet My Pets his softer side, because all you guys ever hear is just his violent barking at people walking by. It's terrible.
Dog.
He is a very good guard dog.
Oh, that's
He's too good.
Yeah.
He's too good. It's the problem. My favorite is, gosh, that's hard. I love so many crystals. I mean, I do love amethyst.
Of
but
course,
I love
I thought.
labradorite. I love rose quartz, selenite, of course. I've got this. Look at this beautiful selenite.
Oh wow! See, I need
Yeah.
to. I'd love to have one.
Yeah.
Oh, that must be so nice to hold.
Oh, yeah. It feels really good. I could just like run it all over me right now because I feel like I'm fevering. But yeah, I mean, there's just too many. I love too many of them for different reasons, what they bring to the table. Quartz, clear quartz, or quartz in general. Agates are super powerful stones. I mean, they take on so many different things. I mean, they're like powerhouses.
So you have a lot of knowledge of crystals then.
That was like my gateway drug into all of this, was crystals, because of my jewelry making. So I started learning about all of the properties. And so when I would make my jewelry and do shows, art shows, and or if they were like in galleries or whatever, I would also put down on like the tags what the healing properties or magical properties of all of these stones were and what they can be used for. So and I used to make like chakra bracelets and all that good stuff. So that was like my gateway into all this stuff was crystals.
That's why you know so much, and it's really helpful, I think, to know like behind the crystals what the power that they hold, you know, not just how pretty they are. So it's something I'm definitely a novice in, for sure. I don't know a lot about crystals, but I'm very interested in them.
I mean, it's a huge topic. There's so many
things
out there. Yeah.
That's it.
New stuff is being discovered all the time. Are my gateway to learning. You know, I don't think you ever stop learning about crystals. I mean, let me show you. This is what I printed off years and years ago. Well, that one's like color associations, which are important too, but
yeah,
this is all gemstones. These are all different kinds of gemstones, okay? And then
so
right
much
there.
information.
Yeah. So
have you got like a crystal oracle deck or anything? I bet you'd work great with that.
I don't. I need to get one. I don't have one. Oh, I don't know. I've got so many things going on right now that if I take on something else, I mean, I'm scatterbrained enough as it is.
You underestimate yourself. You're an 8 and a Capricorn. Capricorns being the ultimate manifestors. I think there's more famous and successful Capricorns than any other sign. So
yeah, but Capricorns also can get themselves into trouble very easily because they take on too much.
That burnout.
And burnout. Yeah, I get burnout quite often.
You are amazing, though. You do a lot. It's very impressive.
Oh, well, thank you. I don't work full time like everybody else does, though. So I have more time on my hands, whereas other people don't. You know, I'm grateful that I've got my husband who works. You know, so that it allows me that luxury. So, you know, so yeah. So, do you prefer, do you have any daily rituals that you do?
I pull cards daily. So I always pull cards every day. And I would say lately, definitely this year, I meditate every day as well. Not always a lot, but if I can at least get 5 minutes in, I love to meditate. Like that's it. I like to have my morning coffee, my evening tea. Pretty boring, but I don't have any crazy rituals, just sort of basic witchy stuff.
So what about like with the horses? Is there anything specific that you do with the horses that you would consider as like a routine?
Yeah, we feed them every day. So they're both mine and my sister's. And it depends, because in summer they just eat grass. They don't actually need that much attention. They're rescue horses, so I don't ride them. It's like they're like having dogs, but they walk themselves around the field and stuff, you know. So like, I love to hang out with them, and like it's not every day. So it's like me and my sister take turns. So they like, I guess that's like every other day ritual. I'll go hang out with them. They have like really peaceful energy. Always had horses my whole life, so I couldn't really imagine not having them in my life. I'm very much an animal person, so in that sense I didn't even think about that. But like my animals are a massive part of my life. He must have heard us. And my cat Sage, who I adopted about a year ago, is like literally my best friend in the world. And I just love animals. I connect so deeply with animals, and they make me feel really grounded actually in this physical realm. So that's a good point. They are a part of my ritual, which is like loving and hugging and being around my animals.
Awesome. I'm very intimidated by horses.
Oh, really?
I've only ridden one once when I was a kid. I mean, I definitely would not want to break their back. Okay, I'm just saying. But I'm serious, but they are very intimidating to me. But you would never catch me swimming with dolphins either, because my luck, they'd want to pull my ass.
Yeah, I feel you there. I don't want to be out
of
with
my comfort zone.
dolphins either. Like, I'm quite scared of sea stuff, you know.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, like sharks just terrify me, and like they're just like friendly sharks to me, dolphins. So you just never know, do you? But with horses, they're much nicer animals when you're not riding them, you know. So when they know like this person's definitely not going to ride me, you will literally see a whole different side to horses, because they then become more like how you like see dogs, and they behave much more like dogs when you're not riding them. So yeah.
I heard that they can very much sense if you fear them, or if you're very reluctant to approach them, that they will also they can become aggressive.
They're just flight animals, so it's like if you're scared, they're like, why are you scared? Of course they understand you're scared, because all animals are very intuitive.
Right.
So if you're scared, they know you're scared. That's why, like, once I did the scuba diving, is it? Like where you go in with all those like sharks and whatever, those fish and stuff, and I couldn't have got from one end to the other end any quicker because I was scared. And I knew that there was like a tiger shark in there, which apparently isn't like dangerous, but I just knew that they would pick up on my energy, and know that I'm scared. And then even with flight animals, if with a horse, it's a flight animal, so if you're scared, then they're scared, because they're like, why are you scared? And then they could hurt you because they could like rush around near you, or I think a horse would bite in like a riding situation. I think horses are a lot more dangerous.
Yeah, like bucking you off and stuff like that.
Yeah,
right?
And like even when they're miserable because they're being ridden too much, so then they become biting and kicking as well. So it's like from abuse, they become aggressive, and they might bite because they're like, oh, what, you're going to come use me like the other person just did and abandon me back again? Horses have a very hard history and life, and they're very, very, they're very devoted and loyal to humans, with everything they've done for us in our history.
Yeah.
So ours are rescued. So if you ever came across rescued horses, I think you would find, just naturally because you're so sensitive yourself and intuitive, like you would probably sense like a whole different energy coming off the horse, because it's not in that fear place of being abused, or like the fear of, oh, what are you going to do to me now,
Right.
That makes
sense. So
sense.
Jessie said that she has a horse too, and that it's older and retired.
Yeah, see, mine are old and retired, and I think old and retired are the best. So hey, Jessie. And it's nice that you've still got your horsey. So, not everyone keeps them when they can't be ridden anymore.
So do you prefer coffee or tea?
That's a really hard question. I like coffee in the morning and tea in the afternoon.
What kind of tea do you like?
I like black tea the most with soy milk, but lately I've been really liking this like sleepy tea, which is sort of a mix of chamomile and like different fruits, like
lavender.
Apple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Gotcha. I've not had lavender tea before. What's your favorite tea?
Chai. I love the chai.
Nice. Yeah, I went through a heavy chai phase. I think when you have it too much.
Yes. Yeah. I have been drinking as of lately though, lemon and I'm like putting it in the big cups right now because of this coronavirus. I'm like, this is all hot. It starts off all hot the whole time.
Oh, nice. What's that,
But
lemon?
it's like lemon and ginger.
Oh, very
Yeah.
healthy. Yeah, very good
For
for
the
you.
immune system and for your gut, which is part of
Yeah.
your immune system, keeping your gut healthy.
Oh,
So
yeah. Gut health is like the main thing with that, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, ginger's like superfood as well.
Yeah. So, do you have a special skill or hobby that you would like to discuss?
Like literally my favorite thing to do is to study and research like stuff that I'm interested in. So I'm really like quite boring person. So yeah, at the
No
moment,
way.
my favorite study at the moment is Vedic astrology, and like I guess I'm always sort of looking out for like new things, like, you know, what we were saying, all those sort of subjects we were talking about before, like stuff from the past. I like alien stuff and things like that.
Well, did you just see the video from Aaron Doughty? Do you watch him?
I love Aaron. Yeah.
Did
I
you
love
see the
Aaron.
one that he just did on conspiracy theories?
Oh no, I didn't. I didn't see the
He said, pretty much, here's the thing. Conspiracy theories, yeah, a lot of them could be real. Okay. But the thing is, when you are so focusing on like the fear of it,
Yeah.
because see, for me, I'm not in fear of it.
I'm not
I just like
either.
the knowledge.
Yeah,
I like
same.
understanding and seeing like the mysteries and things that have been hidden.
Yeah.
But even the thought of aliens being out and about, that doesn't scare me.
Yeah.
Because I think that they've always been here, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And you know that just there's with, you know, there's going to be nice ones and bad ones, and just like there's nice and bad people, and there's literally, if you're going to be in a fear state, then you're going to attract that, you know that. So
Right.
I'm the same
Right.
as you. It's like I don't look into the conspiracies and be like, oh no, the Freemasons and oh my life. Like it's like I just find it interesting, like so interesting. And then especially when like you look how these things like match up with like old like Bible texts or old Hindu texts or gods and things, and like I really love diving into that sort of stuff as well.
It's like solving puzzles. I love solving puzzles. It's like that. That's why I love conspiracy theories. Because not that I believe every single conspiracy theory that comes across me. It's got to resonate with me.
Yes.
But when I start seeing all this information and all this hidden information that's been, kept away from us, why is that? You have to ask yourself, why is that? And you know what? With all this corona stuff that's been going on, now with all of the media and how the world just went friggin' crazy, now I see why they have to cover stuff up and keep things away from the public sometimes. I really do, because of mass hysteria. And it's really bad for us as a people. It's really bad for us.
Yeah.
The earth. But I was going to say one more thing really quick. If you're into Vedic, trying to learn Vedic, have you seen Julianne Victoria's Vedic deck that she just came out with?
No.
Yeah, she wasn't here earlier. I'm not sure if she's still in here, but she just created a Vedic study deck and book. It's friggin' awesome. It's definitely on my list of decks to get. It is amazing. And she is amazing with Vedic stuff and astrology in general.
Yeah, I would so be interested in that, because literally I love this stuff. It's so interesting. And I was literally thinking, I wonder if I can get a Vedic deck, because I have like a Western astrology deck. You have this one, the Black Moon.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, I love this deck too. But I was literally thinking that today about, I wonder if there's got to be Vedic decks,
Well, she's got two different kinds, but she's got one that's actually for study. I mean, it's made for study with all the stuff on each of the cards. It's very cool. Do you follow her channel?
No, I'd never even heard of her. So I'm definitely how can I?
Hang on, let me find her really quick for you. It's Julianne Victoria through the Peacock's Eyes, but let me find it and then go back, and here we go.
I just get it up on the other tab so I can dive in deep after.
It's definitely on my to-do to get blessed. But yeah, look at, I modded mine.
Oh, that looks so much better. Oh my God, doesn't it? Oh, that looks
I got rid of all the white.
Without the borders, because I hate the borders. It looks so much better. Oh my
Major
God.
difference.
Wow.
Have you ever modded before?
No, I'm such a lazy person when it comes to stuff like that. But
See, I find
so
that meditative for me.
Yeah, that's.
I love modding.
What did you just cut it literally with scissors?
No, I have like a little kit here that I put together. It's in one of my old boxes, subscription boxes.
All right.
It's everything
cool.
I use for modding.
Okay, cool.
I've got the little guillotine.
Yes, that's what I was trying to think of the word for what that is.
And then corner cutters.
Corner. Oh, wow. See, I'd feel more confident if I had that kit.
Yeah. And then I do have like the pads. You can use the pads, or I like using Sharpie markers for the edges.
What did you do for the edges of that deck?
I did purple. I'll show you.
Oh, nice. Yeah, to go with the back ends.
Yeah, but modding, I mean, in the beginning, I did screw up a couple of decks. I mean, not that I can't use them, but I wished I would have started with like a couple of playing card decks and practiced that way first. But now I'm like a pro.
Yeah,
because I've done so many of them.
Decks, then. Do you do a lot of them? Oh, that looks nice. Was that a Sharpie then? That looks really good.
Yeah,
really
just
good.
a regular Sharpie. Just a regular Sharpie.
Except
for it's a chisel tip Sharpie.
Okay.
But I love modding my decks and making them my own.
It has to be that one. If I'm going to do that, it's got to be that one, because those borders are Uggs, aren't they?
And you've got a good already inside border on there that you can use if you did want to use scissors to go around it.
Yeah.
Some people use scissors. I just don't trust myself.
No, I'm not like a neat person like that. So I have to get one of your kits for sure. Yeah.
So do you have a favorite holiday or Sabbath?
What did I write? Because I'm not pagan and I don't follow the Sabbaths and stuff, but I do work with the moon cycles, and I am planning to go to Stonehenge for the summer solstice this year. So maybe I'll change my mind after I've gone to that. That's meant to be like a really cool party, like spiritual party. And they have like drumming circles. They have like a group meditation. They play your music, and I think it goes on all night. And then you're allowed to. It's like the one day of the year. Yeah, the one day of the year you're allowed to actually touch the stones and stuff, because normally if you go to see Stonehenge, they have a fence up, so you can't actually touch the stones. But because it's like a religious celebration, spiritual celebration, you're allowed to do that, which is great. I'm so glad that people are still allowed to do that, and they're still allowed to have this celebration over at Stonehenge, which has been going on for a long time. But it would be my first time going, so I'm really looking forward to that.
I am so envious. Okay. Can you take video, or are you not allowed to do video when you're doing that?
I'm definitely gonna vlog when I'm there for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm there, because I doubt that I'm ever gonna make it over there, honestly, because my husband hates to fly and I don't like to fly. So, but
I know that you would
really
love
won't.
Glastonbury.
So. What's that?
I know you'd love Glastonbury as well.
Yes.
But
we have a couple people in here saying that they have done some recent deck mods as well, which is really, really cool. And do you love your decks more now since you modded them? I mean, for me, I love them 10 times more. Yeah. And just think of, you're an energy worker. So as you're doing this mod, you're putting your energy in your deck. So you're bonding even more with it. I find it very meditative. But
totally.
So do you remember your dreams? Or do you do a lot of dream work?
Oh my God, yeah, like I've had some insane dreams lately since the shift's been taking place. Like it's not that like they're like profound or anything particularly at all. Sadly, I wish they were, but they're just so vivid, and like I really, really remember them when I wake up. And I had a couple of lucid dream experiences for the first time this year, which was really crazy. Just because it's a whole different thing, isn't it? When you wake up in a dream.
Yes. I just actually seen
I'm aware.
something today.
Yeah.
I
Do
just
you
seen,
lucid dream?
I've only lucid dreamed like 2 times in my life.
Same.
At least that I remember. One was maybe 6 months ago, and the other one was like years and years and years ago. But I did see this thing today on a show that I'm watching called Evil,
All right.
and it's what is that on like CBS Access or something like that. But anyways, on this psychiatrist or psychologist was telling his patient, because she's been having a lot of issues with dreaming, in order for her to take control of her dreams and lucid dream, he gave her a technique. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to try that. So she tied a string around her wrist,
Yeah.
and set her phone in order to go off every hour, just a little alarm. And when it goes off, you have to look at the string and say, okay, am I awake or am I dreaming? So you
But
keep,
what
and
happens to
then
the dream if you're in a dream? What's the
so,
difference?
well, once you actually are in the dream, and I don't know if this works, but I think it'll be kind of cool to test it out. So once you wake up, or when you go like that and you hear that alarm or whatever, because you're still sending the alarm, I think. Either that, or it's just because you're doing it while you're in your awake state, it becomes almost like a routine. So you might have to do it for a couple of days doing this, and then it'll become something that you do at night. And so when she looked at it in her dream, it wasn't there. And she realized, she goes, oh, I'm dreaming, because she was like dealing with a demon.
Oh, it
A
wasn't
demon kept coming in her dreams. So she was like, you're not going to be controlling me anymore. And she's like, get the hell out of my way and all that other stuff, because I know I'm dreaming. I'm controlling this.
Yeah.
It's like, interesting.
Yeah, the thing is that when I've lucid dreamed, I annoyingly woke myself up, which really, I annoyed myself so much because I was like, damn it! Like, because I was like, the last time I did it, I had a visitation from an alien, and I was in my bed. I woke up in my bed, but my bed wasn't in my room anymore. It was in the woods. And it was the woods by my horses, so I actually knew where I was, but it was dark at night, so it was scary, and there was a tall alien being in a red cloak, which isn't good. I don't know if you know, like, if they're wearing red cloaks, that's not good. And
I didn't know that.
the color of their clothing can mean a lot, and my light seer friend like confirmed to me, like, yeah, it's not good if they're in a red cloak. And I've had like spirits in the house and stuff, and I'm never scared because I know they're not like dark, they're probably guides and stuff. But yeah, I was terrified in this dream, but I woke up and I knew I was dreaming, and I was like, wake up, because it grabbed my arm, and that really scared me, and I just didn't feel good, and I pulled my arm back and I was like, wake up, like I was like begging myself to wake up, like under my covers. And then like I woke up, but then I was annoyed after. I was like, damn it, I should have stayed and like faced that,
I wonder if that was a dream, or whether or not you were actually like astral traveling, or remote viewing a certain situation.
Yeah, like it was so real. And you know what? Do you know what I think enhanced it? So like basically this was the first time in my life that I've left music on. Like, it was called chakra healing music. Yeah. So it was like this boom, 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 like kind of music. I was like, oh, it's cool. It sounded great. You know, when I was going to sleep, I was like, I'll try this. Like, I don't normally need to leave music on to fall asleep or whatever. But I thought I'd just try it. Maybe I'll get some healing in my sleep. You know, nothing bad could happen. God, did I think this was going to happen? So I know that I literally had only been asleep for like 2 hours because I saw how long the music had been playing. But when I was in the dream, I could hear the music, and that's how I knew I was dreaming. So maybe that could help you if you want to try lucid dream, because that is what made me realize I was dreaming, or I was astro projecting, or whatever. It was definitely lucid or something, because I was aware. But it was that music, and the music was terrifying, you know, within the dream, because I knew that's the music I left on, and now I'm here, and it's like being just tried to grab me. So yeah, that was pretty intense.
Do you remember any other like things that were around it? I mean,
there was this other woman came over, and so they kind of stepped back. This alien being stepped back, because I was like, help, but I was screaming for help, but nothing was coming out. That happens to me a lot in dreams when I'm scared. And then this sort of very vacant woman, like, you know, like when it's like there's nothing behind the eyes, like there was not a soul in this woman, was just there staring down at me. And the other thing is, like, I don't know if you remember when you lucid dreamed, you can see through your visual perspective, but you can also see through third person.
Yeah.
So
like
that's
a bird's eye view kind of thing.
Yeah. So that's how I knew when I was under the covers, like, oh, wake up, I could see them like hovering over me, and it wasn't good.
That definitely sounds like some sort of astral projection to me.
Yeah, like I definitely think it's something, because I've had physical things happening since with spirits, but I don't see, I feel. So I can feel stuff touching me and stuff. But yeah, that's why I was doing like protection work, and I've been working on that. But when you're sort of going down this road, this stuff, it can happen, you know. There's a lot going on in the universe, and I only work with light. I just put that out there, so anyone who's thinking I'm not summoning anything dark, the more light you are, actually you are more likely to get these kind of interactions and stuff, because they're attracted to the light, like. But you know, I'm sort of very new to all this, but I would say that definitely the music was the big difference. So if people are looking to lucid dream, astral project, like maybe try leaving on music at night, but like don't come at me if they're like horror scary.
Don't come at me. You know, that probably has something to do with frequency and vibration as well, because different realms or different like 5e. Have you ever heard of Drunvalo Melchizedek?
No.
He talks about the different octaves and frequencies, and the person who was his contact was Thoth.
Okay.
Which is weird. So, but it has to do with frequencies and vibration, which is also, you know, what the universe is supposed to be, is like a vibration or a frequency, and the different dimensions are different frequencies, like fairy realm or light beings are vibrating on a higher frequency. So
yeah, so then the sleep realm, or the astral realm, I guess, it's like the out of body realm. I do believe like we are out of body when we're sleeping, but we're just not aware of it, you know. But then you have these experiences which really sort of make that a reality for you, because it's so real. It's like, and it stays with you. Those particular ones stay with you, like, you know, still it plays on me. That was only about 2 weeks ago that happened to me.
Geez.
Yeah, so it's very like yeah, I still feel very haunted by it, and I'm still trying to, you know, get like clearer clarification on what that was about, you know. But when I woke up, I you know, turned on the lights, and then I had to put like Friends on and like really like, you know,
Get out of that mindset. Yeah, I do
yeah.
that. If I have
I live
something really bad
alone.
happen, I'll put a comedy on. I'll
Yeah,
lay in bed with a
see?
comedy.
Because it's just like you said about frequency. If I can laugh and get into like watching Friends, and I'm raising my frequency, right?
Right.
And I knew that was a low energy, low frequency.
Mhm.
And, you know, especially because the way it was like grabbing me, it was trying to take me somewhere, you know, and where, you know, that if it was sort of a light being, it wouldn't feel like that. Like my
Mhm.
other lucid dream was way more light, and it didn't feel like that, you know, at all. So yeah, it's such an interesting subject. I love like the idea of astral projection and hearing what people experience and stuff.
Yeah. Mine, when I had my lucid dream, the last one I had, I was just decorating my house and I had Joanna Gaines.
Oh my god.
She was actually helping me decorate the house. So I'm like, I know I'm dreaming, so let's have this couch and this
Oh
over
my
here.
god.
That was my dream. I'm like, whatever. Of
That's
all
really
lucid
nice.
dreams, that's what I gotta have, right?
That's so nice. What was
But I
the
do
other
want to
one?
touch on something. That one, I realized that I was dreaming. There was a fence in front of me, and I was painting it with all different colors, but
Oh,
just in my
wow.
mind, and say, "Oh, I want that design, or I want that design," just stuff like that.
Wow.
But Shadow Sun did ask, "Have you heard of emotional freedom technique, and have
Oh,
you used it?" This is for both of you. I have never heard of that before.
thank you, Shadow Sun. No, I've never heard of that. So maybe if you could provide some sources
Yeah.
for us to
Um,
check out.
or I will definitely Google that too.
Yeah, what do you think that's in relation to the dreams, right?
No, she said that actually a while ago, but I didn't say anything. It passed up, and then we
Oh,
got
okay.
carried away in other areas. So
Oh my,
I wanted to go back.
I will just say to everyone in the chat, I'm so sorry, guys. I really appreciate all your comments and you guys being here. I'm so like, I can only sort of focus on one thing at a time. But
They
yeah.
understand. They understand. We all understand. We're probably all very much the same. Our minds work in the same ways.
Yeah.
Sally said one of her favorites was malachite. Malachite is great, I believe, for healing. I believe it's supposed to be really, really good for healing. So that's what I went back and I remembered that Maria had said something about, yeah, but as we have seen that the toilet paper situation, the majority of people are not able to handle these conspiracies. LOL. Exactly. Hello.
I was so confused about the toilet paper, and I still kind of am. I was like, why do people need like way more suddenly? Like it's still going to get stocked up, but now you've just like people who didn't do their weekly shop yet are just screwed. Like it's, I don't know, it's crazy.
So Joanna asks, has this happened to have someone who asks to do a reading for the same question over and over, maybe a friend, relative, client? If so, how do you deal with it when somebody asks for the same question over and over again?
It's frustrating. That has happened. And this is the thing, is that I give advice, you know, and if they ignore that advice, if they keep coming back, it can get to the point where it feels offensive, you know, that you've given them the advice, they've not acted on the advice, and then they keep asking the same question again. So like I would say maybe ask first if they took the last advice that you gave them. Say the thing is you can always just have a quick, without pulling cards, you can just tune in with, you know, to that person and see if there's any like instant hits you're getting, that maybe you can just give them any of those hits that are coming in. If they said they have took your advice, then yeah, go ahead and do another reading. But like, if it's sort of like that sort of question I would get a lot is like someone is asking about the same person, maybe like a boyfriend situation, or wants to be the boyfriend situation. And my advice is always like, almost always with that situation, it's like the issue is within themselves, you know, so they're going to constantly feel like they can't have what they want because there's like a lack of self-love there. So yeah, like I guess it's sort of, don't let people take advantage of you, like especially like I give more free readings than I do paid readings. So I don't appreciate that if people take advantage of me, because I literally do it from a place of wanting to help people. So if they're just ignoring the advice that you gave them, then that's not helpful for you, and it's not helpful for them because they're not actually using a reading for what it's meant.
Well, Summer and I were talking about this because she does the holistic fair by her. And she said, it's funny because she'll see all of the tarot, like tents where there will be a line of people. And she said a long, long line of people going from like one reading to the next, one reader to the next. And you have to ask yourself, the reason why are they doing that? It's because maybe they're not hearing what they want to hear.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, that is it. You've hit the nail on the head there. But the tarot's not
just tell them you're sorry. I can't tell you what, what the cards are telling me, that this is the situation. So, it's not gonna, that doesn't change. I don't know.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, it's literally, that's the thing with the tarot though. It's always going to tell you what you need to know, not what you want to know. And that's that. But that's what, even with your spirit guides, it's not any kind of tuning in for divine help. And they're always going to tell you what you need to know, and that's not always what you want to know.
Exactly. So, is there a time period that you feel drawn to other than like right now?
Oh God, what did I write for this? I said, oh right, yeah. I really like the 90s. I was alive in the 90s. I was born in 88, but I just love the 90s, just before the internet hit. I thought that was a sweet spot. And then obviously I would love to go back to the time of Atlantis, That'd be interesting.
Would you want to be a visitor to those places, or would you want to go back and live in those places?
I would love to go back and live in the 90s and Atlantis. Yeah, why not? Yeah. But I think it would be interesting as me now, to do that, knowing what I know, like from this time, 2020. But, I'm pretty sure most of us, especially people here in the chat, people on this path probably have had past lives in places like Egypt, Atlantis, because that's my belief anyway.
I definitely know I have. I mean, just from all of the dreams that I've had that I believe are like memories, but different ones, different lives. So yeah, definitely.
That's really interesting. You should do videos about these dreams that are like where it's a past life thing. I would be so interested in that, because
they're not like long. That's the thing. I mean, it's all bits and pieces. Like one, I remember being in a pyramid, being in like a white gown, being about maybe 12 years old, and having my family sitting on like a carpet. And I swear we were in like the king's chamber, okay? And there was a lot of other girls that were all in white gowns, long white gowns, like nightgowns. Seemed like nightgowns, okay? Wow. And their families were sitting around them as the girls and myself were sitting in the middle of the carpet. And it was like some sort of cult or some sort of something, I don't know, but I had a feeling like we were sacrifices.
Oh my God, that's so interesting.
Them to have riches or get favor from the gods or whatever. But there was a room full inside of it with all the parents sitting around, or all of the family members sitting around the outside of the big carpets. It was.
How did you feel? Did you feel scared or?
No, I just felt like I was observing, but not like, it wasn't like super fearful. But see, I think at that time though, they just like really venerated people that were sacrificed. You know, like they're like so special, and you're doing so much for your family. This is what you were born for, kind of thing. That's what it felt to me.
And he was probably a lot more aware of the fact that you are, you know, you can't die as a soul. Whereas now people fear death a lot more, you know, because they're so disconnected from their soul.
And that's just one of them. That's one of many.
So interesting. Like,
I've had dreams of, you know, I don't even want to go in there. This is not supposed to be about me, so I'm sorry.
Please do go on to share that stuff, because I find that stuff so interesting, and I think it holds a lot of value for other people who are experiencing similar dreams. And like a lot of my more esoteric friends on Instagram and that I've made just through this community, like we share with each other our dreams and you know, like that sort of experience I had with the alien. Obviously I reached out to a friend who was able to then tune in, because I thought it was an Octorian or alien species, but I think it was a tall grey, and she was able to tune into that and stuff. So it's so interesting to sort of share this stuff, because we can really connect what we're experiencing in the dreamscape. In my opinion, that's just you tapping into a past life 100%. Like, where does that come from otherwise, you know?
Exactly. Where the hell did that come from?
So interesting.
It was out of the blue. And anyways, I will say about the dream that you had. Do you ever watch Mags from the Woodland Hag?
No.
She had a dream where she believes that she ended up, or maybe it wasn't a dream, but she ended up doing a remote view and an alien seen her. And so I don't want to relay the whole experience, but she made a video about it on her channel.
Oh.
So it's the Woodland Hag. So check her out.
Just write that now.
And it was an alien. She said it was definitely an alien, almost like she had intruded. My sister also had a similar experience with feeling like she intruded on something that was happening alien-wise. And they seen that she was remote viewing.
Yeah.
And the same thing happened here.
I just got her up. I'm 100% going to check that out. That's really interesting for me, especially because lately I've been having so many experiences, like also having dreams on alien ships, but those ones where I'm not aware. It's like when I wake up, I'm like, what the, you know, but this one was like, it was crazy because I was really there, you know, and that was quite intense.
I will do a video because I have a lot of dreams on aliens.
I would love that. Like
end of the world crap.
Street.
Yeah.
Please.
It could just be the crazy that is Rachele too, though. But anyways.
No.
So if I'm gonna kind of go forward a little bit because it's already been like 2 hours.
I was gonna say we need to crack on, don't we?
All right. So if you could have a deep conversation with anyone during any time in history, who would it be and why?
So I think I wrote down here Pamela Coleman Smith, because I would like to ask about the beginning of the tarot. But after our conversation, I don't know, you know, I would probably rather go back to like Egypt and finding out about the creation of the archetypes. So I've sort of I definitely would love to go back and just find out why this tool was sort of placed in our hands and how, and things like that, you know. And I would like to meet her and also let her know like how successful it was, because she had no awareness of that, you know. She sort of died before and things. So yeah,
that would be quite the conversation. Yeah.
Definitely.
So if you could go back to any event in history, what would it be and why?
So I wrote that I would just like to go back to, okay, like it's like I want to go back beyond recorded time, you know, and I would love to go back because I truly believe there was a more advanced human-like race living here on the planet. And I believe that was before sort of this like matrix upside down world that we live in, how everything's upside down here. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but I would love to go back to that more advanced race, because I truly believe like there really was, and I believe it would have been a much smaller population as well, and maybe they wouldn't have looked like us. But yeah, I'd just love to go back to that time to find out, you know. And I think you understand, because you're as nosy as me when it comes to
is that what it is? Yes.
What's going on?
Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah, so yeah, that's
wonderful. So before we close this up, does anybody have any last final questions for Helki? This has been so much fun.
I've had a great time, babe. Thank you.
We should do a video, do some lives on just conspiracy theories, okay? I know that some people are gonna not want to watch that, and that's fine. To each their own, you know. My family think I'm crazy with the conspiracy theories, but you know what? I find it just so enthralling, and
same.
Yeah, it's just I want to know. It's like being kept out of the light, you know. Show me, let me see. I want to see it.
There's so many different ways we could dive into that as well, you know. So I'm definitely up for that. Definitely. I've had so much fun talking to you, and yeah, I think we're very similar people. We're interested in very similar things. So especially because of how much we went off track, you know. Because like, I think that's it. We deep dive a lot, basically, you know, into these esoteric ideas and things like that, you know. And that was really fun talking about dreams and hearing about yours as well. So I'm looking forward to you talking more about those experiences that you've had. I feel like you're a very old soul. Like I haven't read for you or anything, but I picked that up very strong from you. So have you been told that by other psychics before? Or?
A lot of experience with that. The last time I went to somebody was, when I was like 18. I went and seen somebody when I took my grandma, but I don't even remember what she told me, to be honest with you. I was mainly the escort for my grandma, taking her. But at the time, I didn't even realize that my grandma was a tarot reader. She had a couple tarot decks. Really? My grandma was a witch. I didn't realize that.
You come from a family. That's amazing.
Yeah. And then, so the second time I went was when I was pregnant with my daughter. And she had told me that that my daughter was going to be very, very special, and that she had a light around her, which this was before anyone was talking about star seeds or talking about anything like that. And my daughter is also an O negative.
Oh, wow.
So, so
is she into spirituality and stuff, or not?
Not at all. None of it.
It might come later, you know.
Maybe, but she doesn't believe anything.
Yeah, but I was very much like that. For it weren't until about 26, 27, then I began very slowly on my journey, and it's really sped up in the last 2 years. And so I'm taken quite young, right?
21. She just turned
Yeah.
21.
So, you know, it's probably going to come, especially if you're her mother, and then you said your grandmother was spiritual. Yeah, it's probably definitely going to come. And even if that's, I believe that she could still we do so much light work unknowingly, right?
And she's a Sagittarius. She's a Sagittarius, an Aries, and a Sagittarius.
Oh, well,
3 fires.
I love Sag. Anyway, such optimists.
Oh my goodness. But
she's
yeah, she's definitely
so
like
much light into people's lives, like alone, just through her optimism and probably just the way she speaks with people and connects with people.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So Suze asks, you are in the UK, Helki?
Yes, I'm in the south of England.
And Lady Knight said, yes, given how old our planet is, it is hard to believe that we are the first civilization here. Exactly. We're not.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not.
And especially the most intelligent. I think there was more intelligent civilizations.
Yes, more advanced, definitely. I think so too.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the like story behind Atlantis, like from like Corey Good and stuff like that, what he has said that he heard or whatever from like the Blue Avians or whatever, which are also like the Ra, or the Blue Sphere Alliance, was that it was actually destroyed by a huge crystal that they had used the wrong way.
Yeah.
And that crystal is what powered Atlantis. A huge, massive crystal. The crystal
and
energy.
It reminds you of that film, The Dark Crystal. Do you see that?
I've never seen that. It's
a kids film, but like it literally is just like what you're talking now. It's that story. It's amazing. Like, because they sprinkle this stuff in, don't they? You know, they sprinkle the truth in subliminally with it in the kids film. Yeah. Hey, Susie, you're in Scotland. Yes, girl. Nice to see a local. Well, it's not that local, but
Yoshiko asks, how do you know if a tarot reader is legit?
Well, if you're getting a reading from someone else, I guess.
Probably.
I think it's like you have to trust your intuition, I guess. I'm trying to think, have I had like a reading, like a bad tarot reading? That's the problem. I don't think I have. So it's hard to, mind you, I've gone on to pick a cards where I'm not resonating. And I just sort of move on quickly and don't, for me, it's, there's like an anchoring within, like when something's resonating. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you're not getting that from the reading and nothing's sort of matching up, like it's not feeling right, then I guess it would be a phony tarot reader, I guess.
It's also, for me, there's different types of tarot readers. You
right?
can be somebody that doesn't use the meanings and actually be a intuitive reader that is using tarot cards.
Yeah.
Or you can actually be a tarot reader that is using the system, which uses the meanings. Or you can be somebody that does a little bit of both, or you can be somebody that mixes oracle in there, or somebody that is a psychic, because there's a difference between intuition and psychic ability.
Yeah. And I totally agree. Like, I definitely, I don't think you should ever judge someone like, oh, they just said that the Five of Swords means this, but I know the Five of Swords means that.
Exactly.
That's definitely not how tarot works. Like, it's
different.
It's different for everybody. I have some people I'll be reading for, and I just know like different stuff. I'm getting different messages from the cards that are the classic messages for the cards, because I'm tuned into that person's energy and there's a particular message that needs to come through. And it's, like I have sort of multiple the more I read for people, I find I get more like meanings coming from the cards, like a variation of meanings coming, because like that's why I just recommend, if you want to read, doing a lot. Just do as much readings as you can for people, because then you sort of gather your own database. Just like you were saying, it's like it's different for everyone, and
Right.
I think the
And it
best.
doesn't mean any is wrong. They're
No,
just all different methods.
no,
You know,
it's like, it's just also whether it resonates with you.
right.
Like I don't do what is that, like, you know, where you tell people the past, like to confirm, I guess. I do guidance based readings, so it's also like what kind of reader are they, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You make sure you're choosing the right kind of reader for you. If you're someone who's like,
Right.
well, I need evidence that they're definitely you know, then you would need maybe more of a psychic medium style, I guess, who's gonna
Right.
be like, oh well, you know, I know your dad's called Graham, and um
Yes, exactly.
you know, or
Exactly.
like there's where I don't see a lot of value in that type of reading personally. I don't go for those sort of readings. I already know if my dad was called Graham, he's called Graham, you know. I don't need evidence in that way. It's more like, is it resonating with me, the message? It's all about helping guide you, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I would
Cool.
love to
Thanks for
sit
the
down with
question,
you and
though.
Helki for like a spiritual weekend retreat. I think we could talk for 48 hours straight. Yes.
I love
Because she's
that.
just like us too, Helki. She thinks just like we do.
I
I could
literally,
do that, you guys. I mean, seriously, we could have a private chat on this. We could have up to 6 people just
yeah.
go to town having a talk, and it would be private. Nobody else would even know about it.
I literally love that. You know, I don't
Me
have a lot of
too.
real life friends at all that are into this stuff. It's like me and my sister that can talk about this stuff all the time. But like, you know, I'm always up for meeting more open-minded people. And
Mhm.
I've learned so much from you. Like I've got so many tabs open now
Ditto.
to check out after.
Yeah.
So
And
that
see,
was,
that's the thing. We all learn from each other. I
yeah,
mean, different perspectives and maybe information that you had never seen before. And
totally,
then you see it and it just resonates, you know?
yeah.
So Yoshiko also asks, will the tarot deck give me the wrong answer if I ask the same thing a lot?
Yeah. Like I think that because it's your guides, it's like your higher self, yeah, or it's however you see it. You might see it like your angels, your guides, your higher self. um they would probably get, I feel like with me, they get frustrated. That's why I wouldn't ask the same question over and over again. But it's like it will come out the same way, so it would be like similar cards will keep coming out, sort of thing. But again, it's sort of what we were saying earlier about when people ignore your guidance, your advice. It's like you're doing that with your higher self, with your guides. You know, if you keep asking, like you don't trust, you know. And I think if you find yourself keep asking something, maybe you need to stop and ask yourself, why do I keep asking this? Where is this lack of belief? Where is this insecurity coming from? And actually, you'll probably find more of your answer there.
Yeah. The only other thing that I would add to that is if you're by any chance feeling that way because you don't feel like you're getting the clarity that you need, then maybe try rephrasing the question, maybe looking at it from a different perspective and then ask the cards again. But don't keep on asking the cards the exact same question
Yeah.
because then it is giving you the answer. But then I would also take that one card that you're getting that answer and do as much research on that card as you can. Look at it from different points of view, different perspectives from different people, and to see if any of that resonates with you. That's
Yeah.
what I would do if I was trying to read for myself. That's what I do if I'm reading for myself.
That's a really good idea, actually, just reframing the question. I didn't think of that. I would actually pull clarifiers as well.
Yes.
So if I'm sort of like, okay, yeah, I get that, I should do that, but you know, how can I go about that without feeling like this about it? You know, so say if it's like forgive, and it's like I'm not ready to forgive, then you can pull clarifiers, and that's where I find myself. And also bringing oracles in. If you're starting to feel frustrated, I would highly recommend bringing oracles in, because they really come with a whole different type of guidance. And if you're at a point where you're asking the same question a lot, then you're at some sort of frustration point there. So bringing in that softer energy is what you probably need as well. So clarifiers, rephasing the question, like you said, and maybe trying to bring oracles in.
Yeah, oracles are also good.
Yeah.
Suze has asked a couple of times now, so I've got to ask you. She's got to know what that makeup that you're using on your eyes, because it is beautiful.
Oh,
she wants to know about your eyes.
It's just like my weird tribe makeup that I always do my makeup like this, like when I can be bothered. And I was coming on your show, so I was like, makeup. And it's just sort of like black eyeliner, and I just doodle around my eyes and stuff with black and white eyeliner. That's literally all it is. I can't do like those really cool glamour looks with all the shading and the what's it called, eyeshadow stuff. Like, I'm not very good at makeup in that sense. But when it comes to sort of just like drawing like a pen, it's literally like Sharpies right on your face.
It looks good.
Thank you.
It works for you.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you, Susie.
Well, I think we have come to the end. It's been almost 2.5 hours, and I know it could go on longer. I know. Thank you so much. This has been friggin' amazing. You are amazing.
You are amazing. Stop. You're amazing. No.
We need to get together, you guys. Those that are like conspiracy people, you know what? And let's have a private chat. We could just have some fun with it.
And I'm there.
I will. All right. I definitely will. I mean, we've got the time right now, right?
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I'd love
So thank you everyone for coming.
Yeah. And thank you everyone who stayed this whole time. Like, you guys are legendary for doing that 2 hours. It's been so fun. And I've got so much stuff to check out now. All these tabs open. So thanks again for that.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, sweetie.
Thank you.
Love you guys so much. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful Saturday.
Lots of love, guys. Have a good night. Bye.
Hang on just a second. So what did you think?
I thought that was really fun. Are we still alive?
That was really good.